welcome to Two Non-Doctors. I'm Liz Mealy.
I'm Maria Shahada.
And this is Lunchbox. He's been very clingy lately.
Clingy?
Yeah, he started about a week and a half ago. So my doors, as someone who stayed in my apartment, my doors to the bedrooms aren't great. And he's learned that if he pushes up against them, it rattles them. So he's been throwing his whole body. So just boom rattling my door. And he wasn't, Ghost was the crier, Lunchbox wasn't. So he now is crying more and throwing his whole body against the door in the middle of the night many times. And when I let him in, he puts his paws in my eyeballs to wake me up if I'm not already awake so that I will pet him.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. What? What? Why?
So they've never, Ghost is good at night and he could stay if he wanted to, but I kicked them both out because Lunchbox just wants to cuddle in the middle of the night.
That's so funny because that's what I do to Johnny. I'm like,
yeah.
Pet me.
But lately they've been good, so I started letting them, and then I would miss them when I was on the road, so I'd let them sleep in the bed, and they were decent. Or if Lunch was annoying, I would just put my head under the covers, and he would be too stupid to know what was going on and would leave me alone. But then lately I've tried to shut them out again, and they're like, nope, you cannot shut us out.
There's no going back.
There's no going back. Oh, I just realized my microphone's over here. There's no going back. Oh, yeah. And
that's a huge difference. I'm going to ask you what your microphone is because it's good. You have a good mitmicrophone.
Yeah, as soon as I put it here. So now it's been a week of him crying 3 times a night throughout the night. And like I said, I'll try. You're supposed to ignore it. You're not supposed to reward this behavior because if it works, they're like, oh, this is how you get what you want.
Keys to the kingdom.
But especially when Evan's over, he's like, you got to do something. So I'll let him in. I pet him for a little bit, and then I kick him out, and then a couple of hours later it happens again. And then the truth is you have to play with them. So, I did laser pointer 2 nights ago. Me and my mom, because my mom was staying with me. Me and my mom did laser pointer and toys for, an hour, and it was fine. But it's who has this kind of time for all this laser pointer? We don't have this kind of time.
No, we're busy ladies.
I'm busy. Girl, I'm busy.
I know. Yeah.
I can't even begin to tell you how dirty my desk is right now. This computer is on a pot, is on a, just pens and notebooks and just pure trash.
My desk is unusable. That's why I'm always in the living room because my desk is piled so high that if I put a laptop on it, it'll collapse over me and I'll die. So I'm in the living room.
That's pretty much what's happening right now.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. That reminds me, because just Lunchbox learning to shake your door reminds me of that video. I don't know if did I ever show you the monkey video where they were feeding the monkey cucumbers, but then they fed it grapes, and then they went back to cucumbers, and the monkey lost his shit? He's like, hey! And he was banging on the he's in a cage, but his little paw went through the thing, and he's banging on it. He's hey, shaking the cage. Shit. Give me the grape.
That's exactly how it is. It's 100% how it is. He's like, I got cuddles at 3 a.m. once, and I'm not going back. This is when I want cuddles. He's a nightmare. He's the cutest.
I'll take him. I said already. I think I said it off camera.
Yeah, but no, you can have him. I'll pack him up. I have a joke in my special that if anybody, because I do try to auction them off, if anybody takes them, they have to take them with his favorite toy, which is poop. So,
is it a stuffed shit emoji or?
I bet you wish that's what it was.
Yeah, I do.
He's less gross. We started shaving his butt, and he's less gross. But he was a gross.
Does he play with his own shit, or does he just have shit on his fur?
Yeah, he just has poop stuck to his. He would go out all day. I'd be like, "What smells bad?" And I'm scooping the litter. I'm looking to see if there's poop around the house. No, he just had poop stuck to his butt all day. Do you know how embarrassing that would be if he was a human?
Is this your first shaggy cat?
Yes. So that's the thing is this is a problem with long-haired cats. He's also dumb, but yes, This is a long-haired cat problem. But
Yeah, they do remind me of Pinky and the Brain. Those two.
very much so. Oh, that's actually kind of perfect. Oh, 90s cats.
Perfect. Yeah.
Oh,
So your post special,
dude, I feel so
and
much better.
I
I know
bet
I know I made you give me a pep talk, so pre-show Liz feelings. I'm not joking. Within an hour of it being over, I was like, da, 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 da. Like I had all this, like you always have energy after doing shows, but like I truly felt like the heaviest weighted blanket that I had been carrying around for like 2 months.
it feels like you've popped out of this inflatable container that was slowly losing oxygen, and you're like, I might die in here. And then when the
Yes.
show's over, you're like, and then you're like, oh, I
I
feel better. I'm not
oh my
miserable.
oh my God. And it's like I cannot. So you know how like they say like, women go through childbirth and it's clearly very painful, and being pregnant has its complications, pushing a baby out is hard, but like why would you ever do that again after you know how painful it is after you've gone through all that? And it's like, oh, there's just like something in your brain that kind of erases that, so that you're like, I need another baby, like I need
Yeah,
it.
your mom had 5 kids and you had like 6 specials. It's kind of the
A
same.
little bit, like, not to say that's the same pain, but like I legit cannot remember if the last 5 recordings caused me this much anxiety.
They
Like
did. I
they did. Oh,
remember.
yeah, you've been there for all of them. Dude, I
I
just like,
can't remember. You almost murdered an audience member.
oh
And this is
yeah.
when we talked about getting other people to support you during these shows because like you were taking it all on board, and you still do a bit, but you've learned to delegate a little bit. But you're taking it all on, like you're the event organizer and the bride of your own wedding. Like you know what I
Yes.
mean? So,
Yes.
but yeah, you've been stressed out every single one.
Dude, it was so funny too because in the first show, at like a punchline, somebody dropped a battery, like one of the camera people dropped a battery, and I had a moment and I was like, doesn't matter, we have another show, I don't care, I'm not gonna this isn't my problem. Like truly was like I had like an instant moment of like fuck, and then I was like, not my problem, this will be fixed, doesn't matter.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that kind of like, and people with multiple kids can speak to this, but it feels like, the first kid, everybody, like the parents are overly worried and every little thing is a huge deal. And
Yeah.
by the 6th kid, you're just like, oh, he broke his finger. It'll be fine. He'll grow a new one. Or I don't know how
Yeah.
that works.
That's why you have 5. That's why you have 5 fingers. You don't need them all. Yeah, I feel better. I think it went well. I was like, you know how it is, like you stress about people coming, and then after that you stress about, what the outfit you're wearing, and after that you stress about like the thing I stressed about the least was my set, because I had run it a bunch, and I even did it, I ran it a bunch in Nashville and Atlanta, and then I ran it 2 days before. I feel good about it. I know it. It's not as challenging as Murder Sheets. Like that one was a lot more challenging, but like, I stress about it because I want it to go well and I want to feel good. But like that was the least. I stressed about my background. I stressed about people coming. I stressed about, getting everything done in time. My brother was helping. My boyfriend was helping. My parents met Evan's parents. That's like, you know what I mean?
Ooh.
And we both realized that none of our parents have never met anybody's
Parents
parents.
before. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh.
Yeah. And then like he
Did
was
they
like,
like each other?
I think so. I mean, my dad so my mom's shy, but she's nice. And we kind of warned, them like, hey, my mom's shy, like, but she's lovely. And then my dad, I mean, the one thing that's really nice about my dad is like he, had clients for 35, 40 years. Like he knows how to talk to anybody and he knows how to carry a conversation. And like, so like, Evan was worried about our dads talking. And I was like, this is where my dad excels. This is where the Mealy, Tony Robbins, school of, how to win friends and influence people.
I know I tell this story all the time, but like the first time I stayed over at your house and then I was eating breakfast, you were still asleep and your dad comes down and I'm like about to eat a spoonful of cereal and he goes, "What are the 5 things you're going to do today to improve your life?" And I was like, "Hi, Mr. Mealy. Good morning."
It's 7 on a Saturday.
He's like, "Right, it's late."
Oh my God. I not only do I tell that story, but I remember when I finally came down, you had a notebook and you're like, "Your dad has helped me with my 5-year plan." I was like, "Dad." You're like, "You did buy me bagels." I was like, "Okay, all right."
Yeah.
But still, I was like, "I leave you alone, my friends, for 5 minutes."
Yeah. He was like, yeah, what's my joke? They say you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So he's like upping their games.
Truly. I mean, he had dinner with Evan in July, and Evan ended up buying a book. Evan doesn't read. He doesn't read. What is
Evan
this book?
doesn't read?
I mean, he reads. He reads like the newspaper on his phone every day, but like I have a joke about us talking about books we were reading. Now I know it's quotations, reading when we on our first date. And he was reading this negotiation book. That joke is 100% true. He was reading Never Split the Difference. And it's been on his bedside table for over a year. And then anytime he goes on a trip, he puts it in his bag and he sends me a picture. And I was like, "Why are you showing this book the country? Like, what are you've never opened it. Why are you taking it?" And then he talked to my dad. He ended up buying a book about management. And then he talked to some other guy and he bought an editing book that he said he's never going to read because he didn't even read the guy's original book. And then he has a PR team now, and the PR team recommended a book, and he bought that. I was like, "What are you doing? Stop wasting money. You're not going to read these books."
Oh my God, you could be talking to me. I always like that.
Oh my God, I'm dating you. This is terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Why are you collecting books?
I love books. I don't read them, but I love having them, and I like going to the store and smelling them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I want to write one.
Yeah, right. Absolutely write one. But let's stop giving. I mean, I guess 50% of the money you make on book sales are the people that are trying to be the person they want to be by buying that book.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what self-help is all about. Yeah, of course. It's the whole industry.
Yeah. Of course.
Wow. Well, I still have my taping that I'm still nervous about.
Did you tell our people? Because
I can't tell anybody yet, but I have a TV taping. I can say that.
Okay.
I have a TV taping. So, I found out how many fucks I can have. 2. Problem.
Oh.
I can only have 2. So now I have to
in your set.
Huh? I don't know. I didn't count, but a lot more. But I will. I mean, they're easy to get around. You know, you just got to be more emphatic.
Yeah, I think you need to find the ones where the fucks are important. I love this combo. The fucks are important, and the other ones are like screw and what have you.
Yeah, I mean,
not about TV, man.
The guy did say I could get away with a feck. And I'm like, but will the Irish let me get away with a feck? Because the Irish say feck, like feck off, you know.
Ooh.
If you've ever seen Father Ted. But I don't think I can get away with that. And anyway, yeah, I think the hardest part is going to be remembering that on the actual recording, like, you know, because everything's so set in stone. Like, I know my act, so it's like changing it. It's just now I have to, yeah.
No, and it causes nerves that weren't there before because, like I said, like in this taping, the one thing I felt good about was the set. That was the last thing I was stressing about.
Yeah,
dude, it's been so long since I've done like a Comedy Central, like proper TV taping where you're like, "Oh yeah, you can't say whatever you want."
Yeah, I know. And suddenly it's just like, imagine everyone's parents are in the audience. But I said that like, well, what does that matter? I don't give a shit about everyone's parents. But anyway, my biggest thing also is like how I'm going to look. And I'm going to get my hair keratin treated because although I've been having decent hair days lately, like I think my hair knows when I'm going to get it treated because it's like, we'll be good. Look at his curl.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. And you're like, what is this?
Yeah, I'm having another gorgeous hair day. And I just know on the day, like it's not going to, and also I'll have just started my period. Like my hair's going to be a frizzy mess. So it's like, I'm going to get it keratin treated. I feel like I'm going to have several dresses to choose from. I'm going to wear a dress because for my Comedy Central Live, I wore a dress and flats, like flat tennis shoes, thinking, because I saw Ali Wong's special and I was like, I loved her outfit because it was like kind of I mean, she was pregnant, but she was wearing like this tight dress. And, well, I'm saying that I look good with the pregnant belly. I'm not saying she was pregnant, but so she was wearing this tight dress and then she had like Ked type heat, like flats on. And I was like, I like that look. So I'm going to try it. And then I did it. And now every time I see that video, I feel like a nurse. Like I just feel like I have I work at a hospital or something. So I'm gonna wear heels because I wore heels in the West End and I felt pretty.
So I guess two things. One, running your set. Obviously, you know to run your set so that you can kind of without the fucks or the new locations of things, whatever. But you should do a couple of shows in heels if you're gonna wear heels. As two people that don't wear heels on stage very often.
Yeah, but I wore them for like 20 days in a row. It was fine. These are the same heels that I wore in the West End. And that was like, I can't remember how long the run was, but I'm used to them.
Okay.
Thing is if I fall, either they'll keep it in and it'll be amazing. Or
it's recovery.
I'll just try again. Although, yeah. So anyway.
I was thinking less of falling, but almost the same way by taking out certain words. Walking when you're wearing flats or sneakers on stage is very different than gesticulating when you're
right. I do get a lot more still. I am like I remember for the first night at the West End, I wore heels and my feet were sliding around in them because I was so sweaty and nervous. So I was like, what have I done to myself? So yeah, that is a consideration. But I'm not gonna wear flats again.
I'm not encouraging flats. I'm encouraging some heel run-throughs.
Some practice.
That's all I was saying. I wasn't telling you not to be who you want to be. I'm telling you to practice being who you want to be.
I want to be a realtor on Selling Sunset, apparently.
Let's do it. Oh, this is so exciting. We both have like stuff. Like, I mean, now you're the nervous one, and I'm like, it's over.
Yeah, now you're like da da da, and I'm like,
yeah, we're not matching energy, but I'm here for you. I will regurgitate the pep talk you gave to me, which is what we've been ping ponging for about 20 years. Yeah. Just like dating advice and special advice, just back and forth, over and over again. We don't even know who originated the info.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely call you for that. Do you want to do announcements?
Yeah. One, just thank you to anybody that came to my special, told people to come to my special. I'm very, very grateful. This is coming out next week, so I think I'm going to be in I'm going to be in Tulsa. Actually, I just added Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then next month, I don't know where I am. I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm in Cleveland. I'm in Bend, Oregon. I'm in Portland. After that, I'm in Raleigh. And then in December, I will be with Maria in Batavia, Illinois, and Baltimore. And I'm already starting to add dates next year. Almost everything's on my website. But I'm adding Miami in February. So I don't think I've been to Miami since I toured with Hurry like 6 years ago. So I've had some people yell at me. So everything is at LizMealy.com.
Why did you go to Miami in December?
I am going in February, which is probably not the time to go. But I would assume all those people, that's the best time to go, is they would be outside in the summer.
They'll be outside
so
or
February.
Hiding from hurricanes.
Sure.
Exactly.
Great.
Actually, I think hurricane season might be October, so maybe you're cool. But just look it up is all I'm saying.
Yep. But yeah, everything's at LizMealy.com.
Yeah, I'm sticking around London, mariashahada.com if you just want to see my pretty website. I got new headshots. I'm waiting for those to come back. They're like actor headshots. And I'm like, and thank you to our patrons. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. Also, thank you to the people who leave us. Has anyone else left us tips? You can leave us tips on YouTube.
Yeah, you can leave us tips on YouTube. I don't think recently, but
well, if you do, thank you. If you right. So, okay. Oh yeah, follow us. So Instagram at @2nondrs. It's the number 2. Twitter, YouTube. our Gmail address, and that's it, is at 2non-doctors. It's the number 2 full word doctors. We have a couple, like, we should do a listener email because there's been a few.
Yeah.
So, but this one I just saw, so we'll just read this one from David he's a patron. I was listening to the latest show and wanted to say congrats on taping your special.
Thank you.
I know it's Florida and all, but do you ever come down here? We just mentioned that.
Yeah, Miami. And then all the other places probably later in the year. But yes, I do. I do peruse and tour Florida.
I also wanted to suggest to you for your itchy ears to talk to your PCP, or if you have an ENT, about Elocon, Mometasone topical. What is a PCP? Primary care physician.
Yes, yeah. That I knew. Nailed it.
I'm a user, and when I did primary care, I would prescribe it too. It helped me. And the generality, I don't think I've ever seen that word before. And the generality is a person can go minutes without air. Oh, a lot of people commented about this. Like how long you can go without air, water, and food.
Yeah.
Is a person can go minutes without air, days without water, and weeks without food. Somebody said 3, 3, and 3. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That being
food
said,
is the longest. That I know.
That being said, after a day or so without food or water, your body starts to get upset. When I am working in the ICU, I try and start tube feeding even on critical patients within a day or so if their gut blood flow is okay. Our bodies are weird in a way that it will store up fat like an excellent rainy day fund, but when crisis comes, it will spend the money, I like that, of our lean muscles into bankruptcy with a lot still left in the rainy day fund. Yeah, that I don't like. That's not fair. Like our body uses up muscle energy before fat energy, if ever.
Fucked up. Fucked up.
We are engineered for the eating cycles on the Serengeti, not the landscape of a McDonald's on every corner. It may go on, but that's what
That was like Dr. Poetry. That was those are beautiful analogies.
Yeah, I loved that. Thank you.
Also,
thanks, David.
Is he a doctor? What did he say he was?
So.
He said prescribe. I'm always fascinated
when he did PCP, and then isn't that a drug?
PCP is a drug.
And then he said he worked in the ICU, so I'm guessing if he's
Whenever
not
we
a
have,
doctor, he's a doctor adjacent.
Thank you for listening to our dumbasses.
I never understand why anyone listens to us, but I appreciate everyone who does.
I was in Pottstown, Pennsylvania on Friday, and I had somebody that was like, I love your podcast. And I'm always like, really? I was like, cool.
That's awesome.
No, that's great. Thank you for listening. Thank you for writing. Thank you for, now I know 3, 3, and 3. This is great. We're learning.
Yeah. Everyone always teaches us. We're like, this is how dumb our brains are. And people are like, okay, cool. We know where we're starting with.
I feel like we're being raised.
You up.
Just being raised by our listeners. They're like, you definitely shouldn't talk to people. Googly googs.
Yeah, I guess they were really early on that, but I mean, if it's a short podcast, it's a short podcast. Wait, let me see. 'Cause sometimes I make notes about what I want to say.
Okay.
No, we did okay. Watch Rosehaven. I don't know what that means. Watch Rosehaven. Okay, so I got sushi the other day and I shared with Johnny. He's a vegetarian, so I got like a bunch of, it's neither here nor there, but he's a vegetarian. So I got like some vegetarian sushi, which I consider a waste of time, but.
Does he have fish or no?
No. So it was, but this vegetarian sushi was good. So it was like tempura battered, and it had asparagus, cucumber, avocado, and there's something, maybe like a sweet potato or something in it. It was really nice, and carrots. But then like it also came with edamame. And out of the corner of my eye, I just see him pop something, and I'm like, that wasn't the sushi. What did he didn't just eat a whole pot of edamame, did he? I was like, definitely not. And then I look on his plate, and like there were less edamame than that came with a dish. You know, with edamame, you can just pop out the bean and then leave the shell. But he was eating them whole, and I was like, Johnny, have you been eating the edamame pods whole? And he was like, yeah, why? I don't think you're supposed to do that. And he was like, why? I was like, I don't know.
But it's just, I've never seen anybody do that.
I've never seen it. He was like, but like snow peas. And I was like, yeah, they're different.
Uh-huh.
So I Googled.
This is a great Google because I would also be like, you can't do that. And they'd be like, why? And I'd be like, I don't know. You just can't. I don't know. You're going to
Yeah,
die.
but just take my word for it. But the Google was like, are edamame pods toxic? Because I was like, are you going to die? Let's just find that out first.
You're
Do we
like,
need to be calling
nine. I
999?
think it's 999, right? You're just like 2 nines in and you're like, let me Google before we.
Yep, exactly. No, not toxic. Just not pleasant. They're not really easy to digest. They're not tasty.
Yeah.
They're they're I don't know. They're chewy. So you can eat them, but I mean, why?
Do you think because he's a vegetarian, his taste buds have rotted and he thinks they are good?
No, that's hilarious. Maybe because he's British.
Oh, that's good. Oh, good call. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. Those are two vegetarian British person that's never tasted good food.
No, I mean, it annoyed him that he found out he couldn't eat it. He was like, I forget what he said, but he was really annoyed by it. But,
I mean, he can. It's just, there's certain vegetables that are hard for you to digest, so you might get gassy or not feel good. And then
yeah.
universally,
Same with shrimp shells. Like you can eat the shells. You can just eat them whole. You can pop them. But like, ew, your face.
that actually like that, because when you accidentally eat it, like just like a little piece of it because it wasn't fully shelled, and you're like, ah!
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when like the skin of an onion, like the shell of an onion gets in something, and you're like, it's paper. It tastes like paper.
Yeah, it's no good. I questioned all that stuff I didn't question any of that stuff when I was little. So like, you eat shrimp and you're like, just rip those legs right off. And there's the poop vein.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't think about it. You're just like, yeah, okay, I'll eat that. Or like we used to eat like crabs. We'd go to the beach and get buckets of crabs. And so you just like rip the crab open and there'd be this yellow gunk in the crab. And my parents would be like, oh, that was a female one. Those are all their eggs or whatever. And you're just like, okay, yeah, you're just eating it. And you're like, and I grew up and I started thinking about it. And I'm like, that's disgusting. I don't think I can. I just got a lot more squirmish as I got older. Squeamish?
I get that.
Squirmish.
Whatever. Eat the edamame shell. Don't eat it. Squeamish. You do you. You live your best
Damn right.
life.
I like this freedom. This post-special freedom.
I really have gotten laxed. Hey, you need to push it back 15 minutes? Girl, I do nothing. I have nothing. I do nothing.
Yeah, that's hilarious. All right, what did you Google?
Hold on, my fucking buzzy thing went off. God damn it.
So it's just us, guys. What have you been listening to lately? Email us about what. I need some new music.
What am
Just
I listening to?
email us what are your favorite songs right now? I'm talking to the audience.
Oh, I didn't know you were having a powwow without me.
What am I
Okay.
supposed to do? Just sit here and stare at myself?
I don't know. I figured Danny would edit it out.
She still has the option.
Okay, great. Okay, my googly goog. So I rarely wash my cat's bowls by hand. I would put them in the dishwasher. But then I saw something and someone's like, "Hey, you need to have separate sponges for your cat bowls and your cat stuff that you wash and your stuff because of something." And I was like, "What?" And so it's like maybe a couple times a year I would hand wash their bowl because I lost track of dishwashing bowl time. But I was like, what does that mean? So I wanted to know, what did I Google? Can you wash your cat bowl with the same sponge? Okay, if hand washing cat bowls, use hot soapy water as hot as you can stand it. Avoid using scorching pads or steel wool.
Wait. Sorry, I completely missed. Why can't you wash it with the same sponge? Why would you think you couldn't?
I didn't think anything of it, and then the internet told me I couldn't, and then I wanted to know.
Oh, but they didn't say why, and so
No.
you're now Googling it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
what.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Just catching up.
Jesus Christ. Avoid using scoring pads or steel wool, which will scratch the bowls. Instead, clean your cat's bowls with a soft sponge or rag used for that purpose only, so you do not cross-contaminate. And it's like, well, that's not an answer. Finally, if your pet eats raw food diet, wash dishes separately, which can help prevent the spread of foodborne illnesses to humans. It just keeps saying to avoid cross-contamination, but it's not saying...
What are you cross-contaminating, though?
What am I...
Like
just bacteria, but like what... If they ate their cat food out of their bowl and I washed it, what am I don't understand. And I don't do it very often, right? Because I try not to hand wash ever if I can avoid it. I use my dishwasher, but then I'm like, should it not even be in the dishwasher at the same time?
So you're worried about getting sick from your cat's bowl?
I guess, but it's like, I'm gonna be pretty honest. I'm almost 40, and I've had cats my truly almost my entire life. I'm only thinking about this now. Nothing bad's happened. I
was about to make that same point. I'm like, you've had cats for a while, and it's hard to tell how much smarter you might have been if you'd never had cats. Maybe it's affected.
I think it's safe to say that it's good I have cats, because if I was the same level as dumb without them, it would 100% be me. And now I could be like, well, I'm always scooping litter, and then, the bowl washing. And we know every time you bowl wash with your own sponge, you lose a couple of brain cells.
Yeah, it's that crazy cat hormone that also gets you attached to cats. It also makes you lose brain cells and stuff. It's not your fault.
Cats have a bacteria that can give you schizophrenia. Okay, that's from scooping. There's a word for that. It's like tech something with a T or whatever. Sorry, I'm on Reddit now, and that's never trustworthy. I don't know. I get that it is gross, right? Like, I get that, how people would think it's gross. And I change out my sponges in general pretty frequently. I know that about sponge bacteria and whatnot. But, I guess it's their saliva in a bowl. I don't know. I thought that was the whole point of soap, is that you're fine.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it's a non-problem.
Yeah. But it's like a thing I never thought about, and then the internet. I almost would say half the things I'm worried about is like one day minding my own business, and the internet's like, hey, have you thought about what happens when you trip and fall? Are you going to use your hands? And you're like, I don't know. Maybe I would use my hands. Maybe I'll use my face. Like, all of a sudden, it's like making me question things I never questioned.
It's crazy. It's crazy, like what... Just like living in a different country, and then I find out like the kind of things that Americans are worried about. I'm like, it's not in the media here at all. So it's like there was never a craze or like, oh, we better get vaccinated for like monkeypox or so. There was something that was just like you guys were going nuts about, that we were like, there was just no manicness here at all. And just it's the same with the perimenopause thing, and it's like that just went crazy. Everyone thinks they're perimenopause. Yeah, you're just reading the wrong shit.
Yeah, I'm on the wrong algorithm.
Yeah.
I do follow 95% cat accounts. Like, my phone is like art and cats. It's almost no stand-up anymore. I just cats and art.
That's great. That's been perfectly curated.
Thank you so much. I have to say, because somebody asked me recently, like, what do I do before a show? Am I going over my set? And I was like, well, if I have new jokes, I might be going over it, or if I reordered stuff. But, you get to a point where you know your set, you know your hour. Honestly, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't accidentally get nerves for no reason, and it'll be to zone out. So when I'm like, a lot of times I'll be like, hey, I'll kick people out of the green room. I'm like, hey, I need to get in my head. But it's actually the opposite. I need to get out of my head. And so I'll just kind of doom scroll on Instagram, but I follow so many like cat accounts and art accounts. I'm just trying to like almost weirdly a form of medication, but just completely not be in the moment so that I don't psych myself out.
No, I'm the same. I actually answered a similar question for something that's funny. And I was just like, oh, I just kind of empty my brain. Like if I know my set, then I'm not thinking about like anything else. So I just don't think about anything. Because I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't want to think about the audience. I don't want to think about the person before me. I might listen to their set and laugh and like
Yeah.
forget about my own. But yeah, it doesn't help. You've seen me sleep. You've
Yeah,
taken
yeah. Dude, I've seen you
countless
sleep in
pictures.
so many green rooms. It's quite impressive. I don't think I can get that empty brained. But yeah, it's that's it. That's exactly what it is. Like emptying the brain. Like how do I don't and that's why like sometimes I will watch the person in front of me and them doing well is kind of like helpful and it gets me out of my head because I'm enjoying the show. But sometimes you're just like, oh, they're tight. God damn it, they're tight. That's a good joke. What the fuck? Like, and you're like, nah. So yeah, I'll play like a game on my phone. I'll look at cat photos. Like I will do whatever it takes. I'll even sometimes like organize and like make a to-do list, like just whatever to not be in the moment.
Yeah.
So that's what happens is I'm not in the moment and then I'm just like, am I poisoning myself using the same sponge? And now I have like a different anxiety. People are like, "Oh, you look nervous." And I was like, "I'm not nervous. I think I'm going to die. I'm about to die."
I'm not nervous. I just did 12 shows last week and I found out way too much.
Yeah, I've learned so much. Okay. I think we did something.
We did it.
We did it. Thank you so much for listening. We will be back next week. And yeah.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.